Well, hell, I don't know what's going on with my intro video. Yeah, let's see. Must have got broken. Well, there you go, everybody. My intro isn't working. That's some crazy... Oh, wait. No, that's still not working. I don't have any idea why my intro music... How about this? I'll do my intro music, but you won't get to see that video. There, I think it's working now. There we go. I don't know what the hell that was. That was weird. It was like it wasn't reading it or something. It's all over the place, everybody. It's all over the place. There we go. Who the hell knows what happened? It just didn't work. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I gotta fix something else. Gotta get my bar scene back up again. Yeah, I'm right here, but I gotta fix everything on my... Everything's all messed up. There we go. And look at you don't have my background, watch. Yee! Look at that, isn't that amazing? I got stuck doing something, so I kind of had to rush in here. But I don't have any idea why that video didn't play though, this background right here. And no, Zoom isn't working either, so... Hey, thanks, Bridget. Yeah, Andrea sent me an update. Andrea sent me an update on the... it was weird. She sent me an email about a clown that killed somebody, that they have arrested somebody finally. And I remember covering that. Don't you guys remember that a while ago? Where we covered the lady that was dressed up as a clown who shot, I think, her husband... I mean, the lady, let's see, her boyfriend's wife, she shot. Do you guys remember that? By the way, let's see what the delay is here. I'm going to count to 3, and on 3, type it in a 1. 1, 2, 3. That's like 6 seconds. That's better than 20. Thank you, Carol. Go look at the flowers. Yeah, that was weird because I don't know how we came up.
Hey, freak fam.
I don't know how we came across the that case. Was it just because we were doing one of those random newspapers.com deal, and somebody said, "Hey, look up a clown." Clown the Killer or something like that. You remember that? And then it seems like we looked it up and then we looked at that case, and so after I'm done going over the Stano victims, then I'll switch over to that. Okay, so for anybody who's watching this at the end, if I switch topics, don't go, "Oh God, you switched topics." Okay, it doesn't matter. All right. Hey. Yeah, so if you see Andrea in here, tell her thanks. She sent me a email that was an update. I was like, whoa, I know I've heard of this one. Then I looked it up, and then I quickly grabbed a bunch of those links that I had. I don't know if that's the same ones I had from a long time ago, but newspapers.com, so we'll go back over that. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. That was pretty cool, Andrea. Andrea Ruggiero Drum. I'm trying to say it more often so I can try to say it right, since I butchered it forever at the beginning. Oh yeah, and I wore my an N95 mask to the store today. I felt weird. I was like the only person wearing one. I think people in Oregon are really kind of lax about it, but I don't know. It seems to be everybody's doing social distancing for sure. Wow, Trevor. Thanks, man. Jeez. What
studying online courses. Love you, Bray and Freaks.
What are you studying, Trevor? Are you learning a new skill or just kind of updating some of the stuff you already knew? Oh yeah, it was kind of a busy day. So yeah, I went to the store. I needed to get a couple Snickers bars. And then, what was the other one? Oh yeah, then my refrigerator, I realized that my drinks weren't cold, and then it's oh boy. That means the coil isn't working. So then you have to take out all the groceries that are stacked in there, and there's a thing in the back where you get a screwdriver, and what's great is it's all on YouTube. Right, you look up the model, and then somebody did the same thing. I guess it's a problem with this one. So it was all frozen over, because something's wrong with it. So, you have to put a blow dryer in there. Then you unscrew some screws. Then you pull off this thing, and then you keep using the blow dryer on the coils that are there. Then you take the other unit, and then there's ice inside the fan, and then you have to take that all out, and then you put it back together, and by God, it works again. But I think I'll be getting a new refrigerator before that happens again. It lasts like 7 or 8 months. Months spelled M-U-N-T-S. So did Trevor ever answer the question? What do you... oh, there it is. Psychotherapy. Oh, cool. Excellent, excellent. Ugh. Okay, so we're going to go back. You guys remember we were talking about the barbarian Gerald, Eugene, Stano, the serial killer from, I guess 1969 to late 70s, something like that. Then he was arrested on a case, and then he confessed a whole bunch of other things. Hey, Cairo. With your Jack. Tell him. Hey, Jack.
Been watching with my buddy Jack. Tell him to subscribe, Gray.
Hey, Jack, subscribe to the damn channel. Presently. Is everybody doing well out there? No signs of the coronavirus? COVID? COVID sounds kind of cool, isn't it? Like, he was very COVID. I'm just kidding. Let's see. It's getting pretty scary around here in Connecticut. Just found out tonight that a former coworker passed away. Wow, that's messed up, man. Mother of 4 who was only 47. It sounds sort of like law enforcement related. COVID.
It's getting pretty scary around here in Connecticut. Just found out tonight that a former co-worker passed away due to COVID-19. Mother of 4 who was only 47.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird. I mean, the president of England's only 55, prime minister there. So I guess it's just sort of a random thing. I guess what it does, it hits somebody, and then people just react differently. It seems like there's, I think, what's that called? The cytokine storm or something like that, where maybe you get inflammation in your lungs and then your immune system just attacks it way too violently. Like there's something about this virus that makes your body think it needs to just throw everything but the kitchen sink at it, and then because of that, your lungs filled with fluid. So it's your own immune system that's causing that problem, which is kind of weird. Yeah, that does sound. That sounds like it, doesn't it? There's something about the word COVID that sounds like nefarious in the criminal world for some reason. He's sounding a bit COVID, something like that. Yeah, you basically drown. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just. So I think they're trying to figure out a way to. I don't know. I was talking to my dad about it. He's a hell of a lot smarter. Obviously, he's a doctor, one of the best. So there's something in there that they can try to turn off or something. It was too complicated. Yeah, I think I got that one. I don't know. Yeah, that was one about quinine. What's funny is my mom just sent me some quinine for cramps, but I haven't had any cramps in a while. Because of all the Gatorade I'm not holding it. I should have held it up. Then I, call Gatorade and get some money from them.
Sent you a vid today. Interesting stuff on COVID.
Yeah. Right. Now, one of the things that was interesting, that's just come out in the last couple days, is I'm just waiting for people to show up here, is the disproportionate effect on minorities. It's really been, it's insane. And I was actually wondering about that when it was starting, thinking, well, there's all these diabetes, and I know that in the African American population, there's a huge way more people per capita in the black community that have diabetes, different things like that. So, I mean, in some states, it's like a 15% population of black people. However, 70% of the deaths are from black people. Okay, so it's not like they catch it easier. Everybody catches it just as easy. But it's there's a lot. I guess just a lot of underlying conditions. Now that might be some sort of a social issue that needs to be addressed. You hear about the thing about food deserts. In the cities, or sometimes there aren't grocery stores around, so people end up buying the crap that ends up leading to diabetes, that kind of thing. So who knows? But They gotta figure out exactly. Yeah, it's all dietary stuff. It's not. They're not. Nobody's. I mean, there's people that are born with, diabetes. The type 1, I guess. Type 2 is usually through habits. Eating certain types of foods. Yeah. Yeah, they were saying stuff like that. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's... Well, there was another thing, because Van Jones, who's a total left-wing wacko, he was out there talking about... he seemed like he was trying to be honest about this topic. He was saying all kinds of stuff, that there was rumors going around that said that black people were immune to it, and people believed that shit, and were running around, So, I mean, he was going through a bunch of different things that are out there. Yeah, I mean, some of the jobs, I don't know. I mean, the thing is there's just as many white bus drivers as black bus drivers. That kind of thing, okay? But, however, maybe more as a percentage of the population do something like that. I don't know. But there's something kind of... It is pretty sad that such a high percentage of the deaths are from, minorities, particularly black people. Yeah. So, anyways, thought I'd throw that out there. Food for thought. I mean, I don't have the ability to do anything about that. It's that's something that's going to have to be like a societal deal. All right, this is one of the victims of Gerald, Eugene, Stano, Diana Valek, 18. She's 18 years old. So we're switching topics now, all right? Are we able to do that, or we need to keep simmering down on the... I always get put in that trap. So this is when her body was originally discovered, May 20th, 1975. All right, it says, the new decomposed body of an unidentified woman was found Monday lying face down in an orange grove. See, another orange grove. Just off State Road 54, Pasco County Sheriff deputies said. Have we gone over Valek yet? I don't know if we have or not. I don't think so. I think we did 1 through 5, right? Yeah. Several wounds to the back. Have we gone over this one? Do you guys remember if we went over her? Her name sounds familiar. It might have been that I started to, then I decided not to or something. Huh? I'm trying to figure out what you guys are talking about. Okay, I just started. Okay. Several wounds in the back, chest, and side were found, but deputies were unable immediately to determine whether a woman had been shot or stabbed. Vogt said investigation may have to be made from several pieces of inexpensive jewelry found on the body. He said several rings, including an apparent engagement and wedding ring and bracelet, were found on the body and will be shown to a Tampa man who has reported his daughter missing. Vogt said no persons answering the description of a light brown-haired woman have been reported missing in Pasco County. The body was found about 200 feet north of State Road 54, just east of Livingston Road. Here, let's see if we can find that one. Yeah, so I've already got this marked out, so I'm not sure if I just was doing research on it or what. But yeah, so her body was found pretty much right in this area right here. If at any point you go, oh yeah, we covered this one, let me know. I don't think so, though. I think I started to. Okay, so that Jane Doe, that was, the first article was on May 20th, and then 2 years later, on March 12th, 1977. I don't know why it would have taken so long. Jane Doe's body identified as Tampa woman. I mean, especially with all the rings and everything. The bullet-riddled body of an 18-year-old woman, which has been identified and buried in an unmarked grave in Dave City since May 1975, was identified yesterday by the Pasco County Sheriff's Department as Diane Lynn Valek of Tampa. The unsolved murder case of the woman previously known as Jane Doe was reopened as sheriff deputies launched a new investigation. While sheriff officials released the name of the woman and her age, they seemed to know little else about her. Her finger and toenails were painted pink, when she was found. She wore costume jewelry, and she was a cocktail waitress or a dancer in a bar, they said. Police said they want to talk to the woman's husband, identified as Frank Michael Valek, address unknown. Pasco County Sheriff John Short, who was sworn in as sheriff in January, announced the identity of the woman, who he said was 18 when she was killed. Short said when he was sworn in that he had ordered his detectives to start working on all unsolved murders that have occurred in the area in recent years. He said yesterday that Jane Doe's case was reopened February 23rd by Lieutenant Donald Anderson and Detective Boyd Caudle. In 2 days, February 25th, detectives tentatively identified the body as Mrs. Valek, whose last known address was 303 South Boulevard, Tampa. That's where her body was found, and this is where she lived, right here. Now, again, this is probably one of those things that look totally different. You know, this is 1975, but we're even talking about 20 years before that. So I don't know what was there at the time. I mean, it could have been, maybe that was an apartment, or who knows. He said her dentist was located through further investigation, and on March 10th, positive identification was made by dental charts. The new badly decomposed body of the young woman was found on May 19th, 1975. Metal with an imitation turquoise stone in the shape of an arrowhead mounted in the center. Apparently she had that on. Beneath her body was a leather or rawhide string resembling a shoelace. The string, about 12 inches long, had a roach clip, an object used to smoke marijuana cigarettes, at the end. The woman also wore a zodiac ring in the sign of Cancer. I know as soon as I said zodiac, people immediately in your head went, Zodiac Killer! Right? Zodiac ring in the sign of, and the reason I know that's because I thought that too. I mean, that's the first thing. I mean, it just pops into your head. Hey, come on, Blue and Chloe. Jesus, I know. I thought that too, all right? The victim was 5 feet 7.5 inches, 130 pounds, and had light brown hair. Her fingers showed she had chewed her nails to the quick, and the nails were painted pink, according to sheriff officials. They said her toenails were also painted pink. All right, so that was on March 12th, and then on April 11th. And I think she's just mentioned in one of these, again, being associated with other deaths. In February of this year, Jane Doe was identified through dental records. The identification of the murdered girl was the result of the case being reopened after newly elected Sheriff John Short took office in January. The Valek murder was the only case on the Pasco County Sheriff's books with an unidentified victim. But there are 4 other unsolved murders. The oldest one, in fact, for almost 12 years was classified as a natural death, but is now being listed as a murder for reasons still unclear. Huh. That'd be interesting to look at that one. Oh, maybe we should check out this one at some point. August 5th, 1965, the body of Norris Clifton Hendrick, 44, who at the time lived at 41 Azalea Court, was found in the bathroom of his home. At that time, the cause of death was listed as a heart attack. There was no evidence of foul play according to police reports of the incident, yet the Hendrick death is now listed as an unsolved murder. Sheriff Short says because of the certain classified information that has since come to light, the next oldest unsolved... Okay, so then they go on to the other ones, but... that might be one that's interesting to look at. Okay, I think that's the same one. And then November 6th, 1977. Now again, she's listed as, one of the in the video right there. Where was it? Diana Lynn Valek, 18, right there. So you can tell that they're sort of building up. Some of these other names on here are some of the other victims of either the second serial killer, whose name is Bernard Giles, or victims of Stano himself. There's terror on Tampa's Strip. The prey are the women who work the streets in Tampa's love for sale district called the Strip. 7 red light murders have struck fear into prostitutes and strippers who ply their trades in the plush lounges and sleazy bars. 7 women linked in life to the Strip have been brutally murdered, and most of their corpses left to rot in weedy fields. The 4-year string of slayings has sparked an intense multi-county investigation into what has become one of Florida's most baffling murder mysteries. A special unit of 15 lawmen from 3 counties has been assigned to a single task: find the killer or killers responsible for the slayings. While lawmen search for clues that could solve the murders, Tampa prostitutes and strippers await the answers to a common question along the Strip. Is a friend walking the streets of Tampa, or fiend, excuse me, is a fiend walking the streets of Tampa? Tight-lipped lawmen refuse to discuss details of the slayings. Their combined probe began October 3rd. Sheriff John Short of Pasco County, where 5 of the bodies were found, says only that the slayings have very strong similarities. Short and other lawmen assigned to the case refused to say whether they believe the 7 victims were slain by the same killer. You can look at the records and form your opinions on that, Short says. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, you can just tell there's so many deaths around that time. So there's another one. This is where it's connected. This article, 3 Pasco County murders are connected to Stano, and in this article, she turns out to be one of them. Okay, so this is when they made the connection in 1982. So about 5 years after that last article. So at least they got closure. Just kidding. Okay, there's no closure. All right, so now moving on to the next victim, which is Susan Basile, I think. So here we go. And this is her right there. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, so the basic story of it is Susan Basile got off a bus after school one Tuesday, but she's only 12, okay? And never made it through the front door of her home. Gerald Stano, told police he convinced the little girl to get in his car by offering to take her roller skating at a rink where they had met previously. When he turned in the opposite direction, she became frightened and Stano beat and strangled her. Her body has not been found. Okay, that's what he was saying in an article. The yellow school bus stopped at Herbert and Jackson Street. So let's see where that is. This is in Port Orange. There you go. So I guess that's Herbert and Jackson Street. and 4 children jumped off. School would let out in 2 days, and there was excitement in the air as the youngsters waved goodbye. Three of the children headed south on Jackson Street. So let's see what that would be. Let me get the roads out there. Jackson, so they headed this way like this. The fourth, 12-year-old Susan Basile, started north on the narrow, wooded dirt road towards her home at 1842C Nixon Lane. Okay, so let's get that really quick. 1842C Nixon, yeah, right there. So it's probably just a little bit, yep, that makes total sense. Alright, so let's see what that would have been like walking there. I'm sure the road isn't dirt anymore. But yeah, I mean, look how narrow that is. Hey, thanks, mulberryification. Yeah. Yeah, so down here, and then it says she lived there, but I'm wondering, let me look at what it looked like in 1994 anyway. Yeah, so it looks a little bit more, let's see if it changes much. Well, about the same really, in 94, but again, it's 20 years before that. So I don't know if there probably, I bet you there once was a house or something on, like, in this area. I don't know. Maybe that could be it. Oh, hold on. What's going on there? Wow. Can I read the? No. So maybe that house right there. So that's where she was headed. The pretty dark-haired girl walked with a friend, Joy Bothell, 13, from 1542 Nixon Lane. Let's just, I'm going to put that in there too. 1542 Nixon Lane. That's just up the road. 1542 Nixon Lane. Oh, they're like almost in the same spot. I don't get it. Maybe they don't exist anymore or something. 1542 Nixon Lane. It's weird how the other address was in the exact spot, but it was 1842. Anyways, so they were walking together north. Well, how did you walk with a friend? You just said, the article just said a second ago, that there were 4 girls on the bus. Let's see. And 3 went the other way. The yellow school bus stopped, and it said, school would let out. 3 of the children headed south on Jackson Street. The 4th, 12-year-old Susan Basile, started north on the narrow wood dirt road. The pretty dark-haired girl walked with a friend. Well, where did the friend just sort of showed up in the middle of nowhere? Just Joy Bothell, 13, 1542 Nixon Lane. But this day, Joy remained behind. Let's see. But this day, Joy stayed behind. But where did Joy come from? She just appeared out of thin air, apparently. Joy remained behind to play ball at Mainland Junior High School. Is that still here? Oh man, this doesn't even make any sense. Oh wait, I see. Normally that girl would be on the bus with her. Okay, I think that's what they're trying to say, is normally that girl would have been on the bus with her, but today she stayed back at the high school and didn't get off the bus with her. So it says the pretty dark-haired girl walked with a friend. I think it meant to say would normally walk with a friend, Joy Bothell, 13 of 1542 Nixon Lane, but this day Joy remained behind to play ball in Mainland Junior High School in nearby Daytona Beach. Okay, so they just screwed up on the wording there. Susan began the quarter-mile walk alone. She never arrived home. See, this is horrible right here. It should have said the pretty... Oh, actually, here it is, usually. I didn't even see that. Okay, so never mind. It does say that. It says in big dark letters, usually. I just skipped right over that because it's not something my mind saw. But usually the pretty dark-haired girl walked with... Okay, so now I can tell you it was written good. Well. Okay, I just didn't see that for some reason. Usually the pretty dark-haired girl walked with a friend, Joy Bothell, 13 of 1542 Nixon Lane, but this day Joy remained behind to play ball at Mainland Junior High School in nearby Daytona Beach. Susan began the quarter-mile walk alone. It's weird how the papers back then always did this thing with this capital, bold, dark, and then a bunch of normal font text after that. Now more than 3 weeks since Daytona Beach, Susan began the quarter-mile walk alone. She never arrived home. Now more than 3 weeks since her disappearance, the case remains a mystery to police, an ordeal for the Basile family. It's one of those cases where all the leads at this point have gone nowhere, said Lieutenant Randy Mulholland, who is investigating the case. Since the daughter of Sal 51 and Marjorie Basile 49 disappeared... Since the daughter of Sal 51 and Marjorie Basile 49 disappeared on June 10th, police have launched the most intensive search and investigation ever conducted in the city. An agent with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement has been involved since the beginning. We know two things, Mahoney said. She didn't arrive home, and there was a van on that street at the approximate time she was walking down that road. The only witness is a 15-year-old boy who told police he saw Susan start north on Jackson Street about 3:30. It's about right when you get dropped off from a bus. He told police he walked north on the street 5 or 10 minutes later and saw a blue 1975 Chevrolet van parked on the west side of the road about halfway to Nixon Lane. A zodiac symbol was painted on the side. Oh my God, there's another zodiac. Maybe that was a big symbol back then. I don't know. Mulholland said it was unlikely that the girl had run away from home. She had saved money in a jar, $20, $21, and this is one of the factors that made us believe she wouldn't run away, he said. Vineyard added, we figured if a child runs away, I would say she'd go get all of her money that she did store and take it with her. Instead of spending the whole day in school and taking her school books with her, this is definitely not a... Let's see, Vineyard added, we figure if a child runs away, she would go in the morning instead of spending the whole day in school. Yeah, that makes sense. And she would have taken her money, right? The investigators indicated that some early evidence has not withstood close scrutiny. A partial license tag number released soon after the alleged abduction has become a remote possibility. Mulholland and Vineyard have instead resigned themselves to the tedious work of eliminating more than 4,000 possible 8 GK licenses registered to Volusia County. As far as we can determine, it is a Volusia County tag, Mulholland said, but he said there could be human There could be human error involved. Yeah. Well, I mean, a little kid. Oh, yeah, I think I saw a G in a kid. Yeah. Oh, get that psychic. They'll tell you what it was. A small problem with certain statements made by their witness led to a lie detector test for the youth. He termed the test procedural and said the test verified that the witness had in fact seen a van and seen a girl walk north on Jackson Street. Okay. So that is the... Let's see. We still have little glitter of hope. When we found out that the neighbor, Miss Barbara Bothell, hadn't picked up Susan and Joy, he became frightened and called police after contacting neighbors and searching the immediate area. During the days that followed, Basile continued to look for his daughter. They raised $1,500 and her father added $3,500. I can envision her walking home and being surprised. That's all I can envision. She wasn't a real strong girl. Just fear alone would weaken her. She wouldn't have the strength to put up any kind of struggle. Ah, jeez. Let's see. So this is from about a month later from that last article. Father's Day 1975 was a misery for Sal Basile. The Orange County postal worker would like to forget that special day, but can't because he spent the long, cheerless hours searching for his daughter, Susan. On Tuesday of the previous week, Susan Basile failed to return home from Mainland Junior High School. The predominant belief is that the girl was taken by force on a lonely stretch of narrow, wooded dirt road between two houses minutes after disembarking from a school bus. Normally, the pretty dark-haired Susan walked home with a 13-year-old friend, but on this June day, 2 years ago, the friend stayed at the school in Daytona Beach to play, and witnesses saw the Basile girl start the quarter-mile walk alone. When Sal Basile returned from work at 3:45, I mean, just literally 15-minute, there's a 15-minute window in there, driving along the opposite end of the road and found that his daughter was not yet home. See, that's probably right when he started panicking. Why isn't she home? He checked with neighbors, became frightened, searched the area in panic, then notified police. What followed was the most intensive search by police and volunteers ever in Orange City. Did Susan Basile run away? Police say no. If that had been her intent, police reasoned she would have left in the morning instead of spending the day in the school. Every once in a while, someone still comes in with a lead and we check it out, says Police Chief Ed McQuaid. The case is definitely open, and it'll be open until we come to a conclusion. Yeah. So here's the Charlie Project. She's never been found, even though this guy Stano admitted doing it. She's never been found, but there's some sort of contradictory stuff in here. Susan was last seen in Port Orange, Florida on June 10th, 1975. She got off her school bus and was walking on a desert dirt road heading home. She usually walked home with a friend, but on that day she was alone. She never arrived home and has never been heard from again. A witness reported seeing her. See, this sounds totally different than what we just read in those newspaper clippings. Listen to this. A witness reported seeing her being forced into a dark blue Chevrolet van by two men. One of the abductors was about 22 years old and the other was about 30. The van had orange curtains and the word Aries on the side. The serial killer, Gerald Stano, confessed to Susan's murder in 1982. A photograph of Stano was posted with the case summary. He confessed to the murder of 41 women in several states and in many cases led police to where his victims' bodies were. Stano stated he picked up Susan. See, this is a totally different story that Stano stated. And if the other story is true, then there was another person with Stano. Could it possibly have been his buddy Bernard Giles? You know, it's weird because Giles and Stano's murders are really similar. Same area and everything. Did they know each other at all? Wouldn't that be interesting? Stano stated he picked up Susan on the day of her disappearance and offered her a ride to the Starlight Skate Center, which they both patronized. After she got into his vehicle, he strangled her. Stano led authorities to the place where he says he left her body, but the site had been built over and no remains were located. Okay, well, there you go. Stano pleaded guilty to several murders, but he was not charged in most of the cases. He is alleged to have been involved in including Susan's. He also confessed to causing the death of Gail Joyner, who was never located as well, but it is unclear whether he was actually involved in this case. Susan is Stano's youngest presumed victim. Well, I mean, I don't know. What's weird is how he'd be aware of all the cases. Like I know these serial killers like to read about other killings and everything, but yeah. So that was Susan Basile. Now we're going to move on to Linda Hamilton, and no, not the one from I'll Be Back. I think it's Linda Ann Hamilton. Okay. So it made it hard to. It was hard to find her because when she was in Terminator, it made it hard to find her in the paper because she was an actress back then too. So you had to put in her middle name. No, it was Terminator. Yeah. Okay, so this is another one of those times where I found out the date that she was found, and then you go to the next day's newspaper, and then this is the one that came up. This is for Linda Hamilton. Police sought to determine the identity and cause of death of a teenage girl whose nude body was discovered along the edge of a beach about 6 miles south of here Tuesday. The victim was believed to be between 16 and 18 years old. She was about 5'3" and 115 pounds. She had light brown, shoulder-length hair and wore pierced earrings, a sheriff's office spokesman said. And that was on July 23rd. And she was found Tuesday. This is Wednesday. So she was found on the 22nd. And so now we're moving on to the 31st. And here we go. No suspect yet in beach slang. Investigators here remain tight-lipped today on their progress in the investigation into the brutal slaying of a Massachusetts teenager found dead on the ocean beach of Turtle Mound State Park last week. We do not have any definitive suspects, said Volusia County Sheriff Ed Duff. However, we do have a number of people we have to talk to. Investigators identified the girl as 16-year-old Linda Ann Hamilton of Millbury, Massachusetts. Miss Hamilton, an identity which baffled the state attorney's office and Volusia County Sheriff's investigators for 8 days, was confirmed through dental records brought to Florida Wednesday by the girl's father, Robert. Investigators said the girl was tentatively identified by friends in the area. How shitty would that be to have to go to your dentist to get the dental records and then take a long-ass trip? Man, what a nightmare. Investigators said the girl was tentatively identified by friends in the area who saw morgue photographs of her and in a local newspaper. The friends called law enforcement officials who contacted her father. It was not known why the girl's friends had not reported her missing. Jack Linnedy, chief investigator for the state attorney's office, said the girl arrived in Florida July 15th, so just about a week before she was killed, or her body was found, after driving from Massachusetts to visit a friend. Linnedy refused to identify the persons she traveled with or visited, saying she only had been staying in the Daytona Beach area. Investigators also refused to say whether there were any new clues as to who beat Miss Hamilton and left her in the surf to die. A sheriff spokesman said only that there are no suspects. Police also refused to discuss the girl's activities while she was in the area. They also refused to answer, they didn't answer a damn thing, it sounds like, answer questions about the girl's activities. Okay. So that was July, and about a week later, this is her right here, Linda Ann Hamilton, 16. Yeah, it's amazing. It's crazy how many people were murdered back then, right? Despite an around-the-clock investigation, law enforcement officers have drawn a blank in their attempts to solve the murder of a pretty Massachusetts teenager found dead on the ocean beach south of here 16 days ago. There were no new leads, clues, or suspects in the murder of 16-year-old Linda Ann Hamilton. Miss Hamilton's nude, partially buried body was found on the beach approximately 1 mile south of Turtle Mound State Park. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so this must be Turtle Mound State Park right here, I guess. And then on the beach, so I don't know if it's on this side or I'm kind of assuming it's out here. So somewhere maybe around in here. Guess they didn't have street view on that one. In an effort to develop new leads in the case, investigators distributed a picture of the victim taken before her death, requesting anyone recognizing the girl to contact the state attorney's office or the Volusia County Sheriff's Department. One of the two youths were accompanied the girl to Florida in July, had been interviewed by another agency. He would not specify which agency. He said the youth had not been detained. She was tentatively identified 9 days ago by 3 Daytona Beach youths who told police they recognized newspaper pictures of the dead girl. Almost sound like that my cousin Vinny trying to say youths. The two youths. What's a ute? Ah. Yeah, he actually, Stano claims to have killed these people, and he also led the police to the bodies of many people. So he's somebody you could probably believe, and a lot of these victims are in the same area. I actually think he did kill most of these people because they're in the same area, similar MO on a lot of them. There's a few outliers here and there, but very similar. Yeah, my cousin Vinny. Yeah, wasn't that nice of him? Yeah. Yeah, I was practicing the rap there, Trace Elements, with the with some more of the words that you put in there. I had a couple samples. I was doing pretty good. I just have to time it out a little bit. Let's see. Hey, thanks, Julie Brush has become a sponsor. How come they're not showing up in the chat at all? You guys notice that? Why wouldn't that show up in the chat? I don't know. Should be working. Has anything showed up in the chat at all? Like any of the super chats or anything like that? Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe a little bit of strangeness going on. They showed up on the screen though, which was weird, right? It's almost like YouTube changed something up. But they showed up on the screen, so it's weird that they wouldn't have shown up in there. Yeah. You know, everything's not perfect all the time, I guess. They were still waiting to see if she'd been sexually assaulted. I would bet that she wasn't. Yeah, so she's mentioned in this article too, but you know, it wasn't until Stano said, "Yeah, I killed her too." Dun, 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 dun.
This is a test smiling face with smiling eyes.
Hey, it worked. Yeah, now let's make sure it works again. I'm not sure yet, Kit Kat. I'm not trusting that. If we could just make sure that that is working. I'm not trusting it. Okay, now the next one is Susan Bickrest. Bickrest. So right there. Abduction suspected and Volusia drowning. Police investigating the death of a 24-year-old cocktail waitress. Okay, yeah, I can see that one, Audra. Yep, I see it. You know what I should do? Hold on, let me do something here. Yeah, so hopefully some of the newer people wearing freak family stuff shows up on here. Dun, 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 dun. I put some of the new ones in there, but if it's not working, I'll check it out. Oh, hey, thanks Kevin Brown and Bridget Curvey. Yep, I can see those now. Wow. And there's Cairo trying to steal blue right there. Lame. I don't know. I'll just try to figure out this shirt thing. I might have to start building folders with the newer ones because it doesn't seem to actually loop through like it's supposed to. It's kind of frustrating, actually. Yeah, so anyways. Police investigating the death of 24-year-old cocktail waitress whose body was found floating in Spruce Creek Saturday. Hey, thanks, Sean Beecham. You missed the show last night where we put your background behind the scene.
Could not help myself, face screaming in fear, blue heart.
She's no pretender with an agenda. Gonna serve it to you straight without a blender. Yeah, that one worked pretty good. I'll give you that. Lockdown Yorkshire. Yeah, well, stay safe over there. East Coast
Hi
is
from Lockdown Yorkshire, dog.
If I lived in the cities with a lot of people, that's where I'd be kind of nervous.
I'm no pretender with an agenda, gonna serve it to you straight without the blender.
Hey, that almost worked. That almost had a beat to it. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Thanks. Well, thanks, guys, for testing that. It was, you know. Oh, there's Audra. Look. Right there with the freak shirt on. Oh, and look at that. Correct. That's a great one there.
Testing 1, 2, 3, thumbs up, person
Yee.
shrugging, female sign, hushed face.
Yeah, she told me that her husband totally approves of the mug, and that it's absolutely identical to what they thought too. That when people say correct in just a casual conversation, it's just douchebaggy. You know? Mine's more, I just have the bad feeling when people say correct. Because when I was working at a bank, just for those who haven't heard this, when I was working at a bank years ago, in some kind of, I don't even know what department it was, just some lame-ass processing. You know, I knew how to do it. You know, I actually knew how to do it. So this one girl kept coming up and she'd go, I don't even know what to do. What do I do? What do I do? So I'd be explaining to her what to do, and she'd say, correct. You know, apparently on the parts that she already knew about or something. But for me, it looked like an attempt to say correct to me over and over again so that anybody walking by in the authority figure would look and say, oh, wow, look at that. She's helping that poor guy out. Okay? And that definitely wasn't what was going on. What the hell is this? Yeah, you don't want to work tomorrow? Well, hey, Miss Kiss, just say that your father-in-law got, or, you know, somebody, just use the same excuse that Tisha Stout used, okay? Come up with something really ludicrous, okay? Yeah, that's right. With all due respect. You mean you have none. Okay, thank you. Let's get that out of the way. Right away, when you say with all due respect, you're really saying that you have absolutely no respect for me at all, and now I'll go on to explain to you how stupid your idea was with what I'm about to say. You notice I never say that to anybody? I don't pretend. I'll just go, that's the dumbest thing I've ever said. I don't say, with all due respect, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. What the hellibus is this? Or what? What the hella? Hella. What the hella is this? I'm gonna laugh out louder. Leave out the do. Yeah, right, exactly. Leave out the do. I think it's actually D-U-E, that one, isn't it? I don't even know now. Shit, my brain's messed up. Yeah, without respect, yeah, that's perfect. I like that one. I think that's awesome. Yeah. Look at that. Yes, without respect. Oh, you mean do? No, I mean without respect. What I just heard was the dumbest thing. I like that one. Maybe we should make a mug with that one. Maybe just WR, without respect. All right, now I got to move on to victim number 9. Okay, is that okay, everybody? I know we just had an aside that really pisses off the people who showed up. You know, that just wanted to hear what they came about.
Oh God, Gray, I can't believe it. I wanted to hear just about the victims.
Well, you can just keep on crying, because if I want to do an aside, I'll do an aside, okay?
Okay, Gray.
Yep. So here we go. We're getting back to it here. Susan Bickrest, 24. Okay. Police investigating the death of a 24-year-old cocktail waitress whose body was found floating in Spruce Creek Saturday said they believe the young woman may have been abducted from the parking lot of her apartment at about 3 a.m. The body of Susan Lynn Bickrest, 875 Derbyshire Road. Let's see where that is. 875 Derbyshire Road. Yeah, right there. It's probably an apartment then. Home. Okay. Was found by 2 fishermen about 4:45 p.m. floating in about 13 feet of water a quarter of a mile from the I-95 bridge. All right, let's see. And that probably would be downstream, I would imagine. Let's see. Okay, wow, there's one right. That's I-95, right? Right there, maybe? Kind of makes sense. That's got to be it. Can't tell which way the water's going. It could be going this way. I don't know if that's a... Well, let's try this. If I can get on the bridge and see the water itself. Yeah, no. Gotta be a boat somewhere in here. Oh. $24-ounce mug, huh? So the water usually doesn't, probably flows into the ocean, I would imagine. So let's just say a quarter mile from going this way. What's this one? Wow. Well, that was one of the pins, like where Gerald lived or something. Look how close that is. Man, that's... Yeah, so the body was found, wasn't even that far from her house. Look at that. 4 miles. The girl died of drowning. Clifford said the woman who came from Seven Hills, Ohio about 6 weeks ago left her job at PJ's 400 Avenue at about 2 a.m. Saturday. Let's see, 400 Broadway Avenue. Ah, jeez. Yeah, that didn't sound right. So the girl died of drowning. So that means she was probably knocked out, thrown in the water, and didn't wake up and then breathed in the water and then drowned. So her official cause of death is drowning. Clifford said the woman who came from Stephen Hills, Ohio about 6 weeks ago left her job at PJ's 400 Broadway Avenue 2 a.m. Saturday. She ate breakfast with friends at a restaurant in Daytona Beach. Let's see. 400 Let's try that one. There's no way she was working that far away, right? I mean, that's just... That's not even close. It's got to be in Florida. No, wait. Is that what they were talking about, though? Who came from 7, Ohio, about 6 weeks ago, left her job at PJ... Oh, left her job at PJ's. Okay. No, that's... It's supposed to be in that town. So let me just put Florida in there. Yeah. I'm not gonna look it up. That's too confusing. She was in her car and was headed home. Okay, she ate breakfast with friends at a restaurant in Daytona Beach and was seen leaving there alone, Clifford said. So, I mean, if we knew what the restaurant was, that'd be more significant. She was in her car and was heading home. she was seen within a few blocks of her home by a friend, and we theorize that she met someone in the parking lot or was abducted from the parking lot. Something to that effect, Clifford said. Her car was found in the parking lot of the Derbyshire Apartments, and the car keys were found in a pocket when she was pulled from the water by Pete Rosen, 38, and Larry Gump, 30, both of Port Orange. Huh, that's some weird shit. Let's see. Derbyshire Apartments? Are they still there? Well, this doesn't seem, that's so far away from there. But you know, that's closer to where that, what town is this? So this is Frederick. Let me see if there's a 400 Broadway Avenue. No, it does exist. Here. That doesn't look like PJ's though. I don't know. Who knows what it looked like in 1973 though. Yeah, so it's blank in 1988 I mean. Let's see, that's 88. Yeah. So there's nothing there at that time. But I don't even know if that's the right town, even though that is the same town that they say her car was found in, but that's just not even close. It's way up there. I don't even understand what they're doing here. That's not even the right city right there. I mean, it's like the wrong state even. It gets really confusing in here. Every single thing keeps going up somewhere else. Let's see. She ate breakfast with friends at a restaurant in Daytona Beach and was seen leaving there alone. Let me just go to Daytona Beach. We'll just see what that is. Okay, so it's in the same exact area here. And she lived right here. So you'd think there'd be an apartment complex somewhat near here with the name of the one that they mentioned. But let's see. She was in her car and heading home. She was seen within a few blocks of her home by a friend, and we theorize she met someone in the parking lot and was abducted. Her car was found in the parking lot of the Derbyshire Apartments. Okay, so this is Daytona, right? So let's see. Derbyshire Apartments. Well, that name doesn't exist anymore, but you know how apartments, they exist, but then they'll change their name after a while. But maybe that was even the name of the one that she was in. I don't know. The way they worded that. Okay, so that was on December 23rd, and then on Christmas, apparently, this other article comes out. Merry Christmas, you know. Friends interviewed in death of waitress. Investigation continued Christmas Eve into the suspicious drowning of a 24-year-old cocktail waitress whose fully clothed body was found floating in Spruce Creek Saturday. Investigators with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office Wednesday were interviewing acquaintances of Susan Lynn Bickrest of 875 Derbyshire Road. So that was probably the name of that apartment, right? I wouldn't be surprised at all if yeah. So I guess that would have been the name of this apartment was probably the Derbyshire Apartments at one point, because it's definitely on, you know, that's the name of the road that this is on. So now I guess it's possible there was another apartment complex on Derbyshire that they're referring to, but I don't think so. So let's see. Who was last seen about 3 a.m. Saturday, just a few blocks from her apartment. Investigators believe she may have been abducted from the apartment parking lot. No new leads have been developed from the questioning thus far, said Lieutenant Carl Clifford. He said results of samples sent to the Sanford Crime Lab are expected in about a week. Clifford said samples of clothing, body parts, blood and body fluids were sent to the laboratory in an attempt to determine if Miss Bickrest had been molested, or if she had alcohol or drugs in her blood, and to turn up any other evidence. Miss Bickrest, a waitress at PJ's 400 Broadway, who came here from... Okay, let me try one more time on this Broadway thing. 400 Broadway, Daytona... Okay, Daytona Beach, Florida. Doesn't seem like it exists. Well, maybe it does. Hold on. No. Man, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, they hardly ever change names of streets, especially one called Broadway. Unless, of course, they change it to Martin Luther King Boulevard, which seems to exist in every single city in the United States. You're at Ryan, and what does that mean? You're at Ryan. I'm at Ryan and 12 Mile. What does that mean? It's growing into something. I don't love Metro Detroit. It's growing into something wonderful. It really is. Lofts, etc. Oh yeah, yeah. That happened here in Portland too. But a lot of times it gets politically cut down too. Like, oh, it's, you know, gentrification or whatever. You know, it's like it gets frustrating that it's called that. Well, how about don't sell your house and then you can stay there? Yeah. Okay. Leads to develop from the questioning thus far, said. Okay, Miss Bickrest, a waitress, 400 Broadway, who came here from Seven Hills, Ohio. After eating breakfast with friends at a local restaurant, she was last seen a few blocks from her apartment. Her car was found at the apartment house complex, and her car key was found in her pocket, investigators said. The young woman's body was found in about 13 feet of water near the Interstate 95 Spruce Creek crossing by two Port Orange fishermen. Well, let's see where Spruce Creek. Let me make sure I got that right. Whoa, what was that? That was Chloe yawning. Jesus. She's so dramatic. Oh, Spruce Creek crossing. So this one right here. Yeah. Interesting. I'm assuming that's Spruce Creek, since this is all... Okay, well, we'll have to move that one down then. So I guess it wasn't really that near his house. Yeah, so he probably just threw her body right off the bridge, I would imagine. Yeah, that would be the way. Come on, Jesus. Thank you, Miss Skis. So I probably just threw her body in and it just went downstream.
I need to stop answering my phone when work calls. It's interfering with my freak time face with tears of joy.
That's okay, Trevor. You
I
don't-
have 12 hours shift in 5 hours night. Gray night freaks.
You must be one of our nurses.
Sorry, Gray. Let's all get back on track.
Yeah, that's okay, Trevor. You don't need to send me 20 though to get back on track. I appreciate it though. You're always so generous, anyways. Let's see. Have any of the nurses got the mug yet with the heart on them? Because I sent out like 20 now. Hopefully you have them. The heart with freak in the middle. You're going to have to explain that to your coworkers, of course, but yeah, it kind of freaked me out. It was so loud. Come on, Chloe, what's going on, bud? Yeah, so every time, whenever you get your mug, make sure you send me a picture of it. I want to have like the wall of fame up there, you know, and do a wear your scrubs and hold the mug up. All right, it'll be awesome. I'm gonna be really cool. All right, so now I'm gonna get back to. Let's see. Well, that was it for her. So eventually, Stano admits to killing her too. See, you know, some of the like this one doesn't have the same. I mean, there is an abduction again, and he kills differently sometimes. You know, either beats them or he just seems to really hate women. There's hardly you don't see sexual assault as part of it almost every single time. Well, hey, Sassmare, I want you to put in for one. So send me an email with your address in it, and I'll send you one of the mugs, okay? You're a CNA. You should get like 9, all right? Yeah, so this was number 9 that we just did just now, okay? So now we're going to move on to... that was just a coincidence that 9 happened to be coming up. The final one that we'll be talking about tonight is Bonnie Hughes. No relation, or at least not that I'm aware of. I would love to hear Stano's interrogations. I think that'd be some interesting stuff. No, I just send them out myself, Trevor. I have a on my Teespring account. I get addresses and I send them out. People send me the address and then I send it out. Yeah. Okay, so we're on to Bonnie Hughes. Number 5 for today. Number 10 overall. And it says, Dundee woman found beaten to death. A 35-year-old, so this is a little older than some of the other ones. 35-year-old Dundee woman whose body was found in an orange grove. There you go again with the orange grove. Near here Wednesday night, had been beaten, although there are a lot of orange groves in Florida, but it's just odd. Well, you could, Sassmere, because you're part of the freak family. He isn't, right? But, you know, I can send you both one. But he's not a freak. It wouldn't mean anything to him having a heart with the word freak in it, right? Yeah. So the slaying, it's beaten to death, Polk County officials said yesterday. So she was found in an orange grove near here Wednesday night, had been beaten to death, Polk County officials said yesterday. The slaying of Bonnie Williams Hughes was the second in Polk County in 2 days. A spokesman for the Polk County Sheriff's Department said a man whose body was found in an orange grove near US 27 and I-4 Tuesday afternoon has been identified, but his name won't be released until relatives are notified. Authorities said no motive had been established in either death, nor was there any word on whether the deaths were connected. And Link probed into depth a possible connection between two persons found murdered last week in orange groves near the Central Florida Citrus Belt community is being investigated. Sheriff Monroe Brannon said today that the body of a man first stabbed to death and then burned has been identified as that as Edward Deal, 24, of Hilia. The identification was made after fingerprints checks with the FBI. Well, that's interesting. So why did Edward Deal have fingerprints at the FBI? His body was found last Tuesday, 2 days before the beaten corpse of Bonnie Hughes, 35, of Dundee was discovered in a nearby grove. Both locations are not far from Interstate 4, Brannon said. Both bodies were discovered by grove workers. Police said they had no motives nor suspects in either case. Alright, let's see what this one is. Okay, I think this article has other stuff in it. I'm just going to read it because it seems sort of interesting, although Bonnie isn't brought up till later. Let's see. Rose Oliver, the 21-year-old who was found stabbed to death Wednesday, told officials 2 days earlier her boyfriend assaulted her on Saturday night. Ed Williams, a state attorney's investigator, said Miss Oliver, a migrant worker from Missouri, came to his office Monday to sign a complaint against Joe Upshaw, a man she said was her boyfriend. Williams said Miss Oliver told him Upshaw threatened to kill her if she went to the police. Upshaw hit Miss Oliver several times when he was told she wanted to move from Lake Wales to Haines City, the complaint states. Polk Sheriff's Department Detective Sergeant Richard Hunter yesterday said he's almost sure Miss Oliver was stabbed to death Monday night. He said the last time she was seen alive was at the state attorney's office. Miss Oliver's body was found Wednesday evening in a citrus grove. Again, I mean, I don't know what's going on with the citrus grove. Several miles south of I-4 along US 27. What's her name? Let's see. Rose Oliver. Shit. Not in there. Citrus Grove, several miles south of I-4. Within hours, Upshaw, 35, of Polk City Road in Haines City, was arrested on a year-old warrant charging him with petty larceny. During a hearing yesterday, Upshaw was charged with assault and battery on the basis of Miss Oliver's complaint. Later in the day, he posted $250 bond in the larceny charge and $200 bond in the assault charge and was free. but Detective Hunter would not say Upshaw is a suspect in the woman's death. He did say Miss Oliver's death and the death of another woman whose body was found in the same citrus grove. I mean, it's just really weird, right? Are not connected, right? But, I mean, both their bodies were found in the same citrus grove, but they're not related. At this point, something more substantial than geographical location is found. I don't believe the two are connected. He also said he is checking out a rumor that Miss Oliver has 6-year-old twin daughters somewhere in Polk County. It's nothing more than a street talk, Hunter said, but he's looking into it regardless. Investigation is continuing into the death of Bonnie Hughes Williams, 35, of Dundee, the woman whose body was found 200 yards northeast of Miss Oliver's 45 days earlier, and Hunter said, excuse me. Huh. Well, let's. I'm gonna look at this lady here, see what happened. Well, what year is this? This is 1976. April. No, this is 1976. 1976. 1976. And her name. Shit. Florida. And then her name, I just want to see what happened to her. This first one, Rose Oliver. So that was April. No. No, that's not related. That's regarding Nixon. I don't know. Not sure. What was the boyfriend's name? Upshaw. Said he's almost sure. Miss Oliver was stabbed to death Monday. Miss Oliver's body was found Wednesday evening in Citrus Grove. Okay, Ed Williams, State Attorney. Joe Upshaw. Murder victim got stolen car. Murder victim. Wait, Bonnie Williams. Hold on. Now, this is one I hadn't found. Let me see what this one says. This is Bonnie Williams is one of the suspects here. But murder victim Bonnie Williams Hughes received a stolen 1974 Cadillac as part of a divorce settlement, a Polk Sheriff spokesman said yesterday. Mrs. Hughes' ex-husband Gilbert Frazier Hughes, 34, was arrested and charged with receiving and concealing stolen property Wednesday, but by yesterday was free on $500 bond. The auto was found near Mrs. Hughes' body February 11th when Citrus Grove workers found her beaten to death in a grove near US 27 and I-4. Well, it wasn't found near her body. It was in her well, maybe it was. Actually, yeah, this is a different case. So, yeah, maybe this was found there. See, a check of the auto serial number by Detective Sergeant David Smith and Richard Hunter showed that the auto was reported stolen July 10th, 1975, from an AC Driggers in Tallahassee. Friends of Hughes said Mrs. Hughes received the audio as part of a property settlement when she was divorced in August. No arrests have yet been made in Miss Hughes' beating death. She was employed at Top of the World restaurant in Disney World at the time of her death. About 6 weeks after Mrs. Hughes' death, the body of a 21-year-old woman was found 200 yards south of where Mrs. Hughes' body was located. Investigators have said they don't believe the two slayings are connected. Rose Oliver, 21, a migrant worker from Kennedy, Missouri, was found stabbed to death in the Grove February 11th. Miss Oliver's boyfriend, Joe Upshaw, 35, was arrested the same day on a year-old warrant for petty larceny. The next day, Upshaw was charged with assault and battery for allegedly beating Miss Oliver several days before her death. Miss Oliver had filed a complaint against Upshaw with the state attorney's office in Bardo the day she was stabbed to death. Upshaw was questioned after his arrest and then released. Man, I can't find anything on that later. That's crazy, though. Man, I didn't even see that this article just randomly popped up. I think it couldn't read the... I'm going to put this in with the other one now. April 16th, 1976. Yeah, you just type the @ symbol and then somebody's name, and then it highlights it. Then they know you're talking to them. I'd like to know what happened to that case. Wouldn't you? The one with the, this Upshaw guy? Now it's like I want to know the answer to it. Joe Upshaw. Let me just type something in. Rose Oliver. No, I don't see anything. I wonder if they ever solved that one. No, not Miss Bonnie Hughes. Rose Oliver right here. Bonnie Hughes, we know, that's the Stano admitted to killing her. But in this other article, Rose Oliver is the body that was found 200 yards away. They say isn't related. And it probably isn't, but because it sounds like she filed a restraining order. It's like the classic domestic violence situation, where she filed a restraining order against Joe Upshaw, and then she stabbed to death, but just randomly put 200 yards away from where another body was found in the same orange grove. Man, I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. Let me see if I can find anything on it. Well, there was actually, I wanted to look up the other person. The guy. I think it was this one, right? Or maybe it was the article before that one. Okay, sheriff identified as that of Edward Deal. Yeah, so what about this Edward Deal murder here? Sheriff Monroe Brandon said today that the body of a man first stabbed to death and then burned has been identified as that of Edward Deal. I want to look that one up. So, anyways, we just covered the next 5 in the Stano serial killer case, and now I'm going to look up some other peripheral stuff that popped up while we were looking into that one. It's okay if you guys aren't listening. I talk to myself all day anyways. Sometimes I'll just be mumbling, and my wife said, "Wow, you're crazy. Who are you talking to?" So let's see if we can find that one. Edward Deal. And this is Florida. 1976. Okay, so that was February 16th. Well, I'd rather have you not look up anything when I'm doing the show, because I can't stand it when people say, look at it, 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 look at it. Okay? I'm just looking it up right now myself. Okay? Possible connection between the two. Sheriff Monroe Brandon said that Monday, the body of a man first stabbed to death, then burned, has been identified as that of Edward Deal, 24, of Hialeah, I guess. The identification was made after fingerprint checks with the FBI. That's kind of weird, right? That must mean the FBI actually has his information. So let's see if there's another one that was a little bit further on. That's not it. Body of a man found Tuesday in the Citrus Grove north of Interstate 4 on US 27 has been identified through fingerprints. Okay, he had been shot and wow. Let's hold on. So Detective John Kendrick identified the man as Edward L. Deal, 24, of Hialeah. He had been shot and his body burned. But I thought he was stabbed too. The first break in the case came Thursday when Deal's wallet was found in the Haines City area and turned over to sheriff deputies. Until then, authorities had no clue to the man's identity. Fingerprints sent to the FBI in Washington confirmed the identity. Kendrick said, however, that at this time no motive or suspects have been developed. Sheriff deputies also are continuing an investigation into the apparent beating death of a Dundee woman, Bonnie Hughes, 35, whose body was found Thursday in a citrus grove. Alright, so that's February 15th. VP went to go look up Deal. Yeah, I wonder if his is unsolved though. Let's see, Edward Deal. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a cold case or not. Alright, so that was February. Let's see about this one in March. What does this say? Look at that. At the time of the deal, Edward, so that's newspaper.com looking up. With all no due, without respect. I'm not looking up a thing now. Yeah. Come on, VP, you got to get that right. Gray, you're so mean. People were just trying to help. Hey, look at what happens is I mean, obviously people look stuff up. It's when you say, Gray, I sent you an email, Gray. It literally just takes up so much time, and it's usually something that isn't related. You know how it goes. Yeah, without respect. Okay, VP, give it a shot. See if you can find something on him. Everybody go look up something. Let's do it. Everybody look up Edward Deal. 1976, Florida. I just want an answer. That's it. Okay? Now let's do 1977 to 1980. Problem is, his name is sort of normal, you know, like it's not really that. Edward's common. Deal isn't really that uncommon. Did he have a middle name in that? Yeah, this Edward Deal. Shit. Yeah, it's like a deal, you know. (1976) is when it apparently happened. Oh, and Edward Randolph Deal? No, shit. That's not it. Okay, Edward L. Deal. Maybe that'll help. I always think it's just so weird when these cases just stop, you know? They're covering it, oh yeah, and nobody thinks to look into it again, and it just disappears. You refuse? What do you mean you refuse? What are you talking about? You guys are mean. Jesus, what a bunch of barbarians. I refuse. Yeah, we got new freak pictures. I don't know what your statement is. Oh, no, I don't really care what your statement, Gene. You always make kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puff statements. Never quite understand them. Yeah, so I won't even go up and read it. Yeah. The only thing I don't like is when it's Great, check your email. I just sent you something. Great. Did you see what I said? Great, did you see what I said? And then I go look and it's not related. How many times do you think that's happened on the show? 500 at least. Okay? So if you put in the chat, oh, great, hey, check it out. Yeah, 1983, there was an arrest, and like that, then I'll accept it. let's see, 1977 to 2000. Wow, what's going on there? No. Oh yeah. I gotta get some tequila. I like the, you know what I like about tequila? Is the feeling of tequila. It doesn't feel the same as just like having a beer, you know? It's different. Yeah, you haven't been too bad, Gene. Not too bad. I just had to flip you shit for flipping me shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, I can't find anything on this guy at all, so... You know? If you find something, let me know, but... Matter of fact, I'm just going to be quiet until somebody comes back with something. So I'm gonna start snoozing off here. You guys let me know. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, especially those body shots, huh? I remember those from college, man. That was even some years after that. Those were always pretty fun. No, I don't watch Working Moms. Why would I watch Working Moms? That's for other working moms to watch and say, yeah, that's what I feel like. No, I don't watch Survivor. I don't watch any reality TV at all. For me, it's a waste of time, you know? It's like, why don't you go out and make your own experiences? You know? Or, you know, like true crime is totally different because it's new. It's something that isn't that. You know, it's shit that happened. And things you can maybe figure out something. Oh, yeah? I mean, that one? Okay. And by the way, that face mask thing there, you guys haven't done in a long time. You know, it's on this one right here. You know, when I'm not sleeping, but you can put a face on my face. You can put like a hat or a mask on my face. Have you tried that? Or, well, I know some of you have. I know Cairo used to do it all the time. The thing that just popped up on the screen there. I don't watch A&E First 48. To be honest with you, I don't really have much time, as you can probably tell, right? Like when I get up in the morning, I work, and then I'm also looking up stuff for the show, and then I do the show, and then it goes all the way to, you know, 11 o'clock at night, 11:30 or 12, and then after that I just get into bed and I watch, I watch Homeland. I just got done with Ozark. I mean, Ozark's sweet, man. That's a good one. Walking Dead I watch all the time. That one's, yeah. That's one of my. It's a great show, but it's just there's absolutely no meaning other than just pure entertainment. Thanks, Sean Beecham. Did you see the beach shot, Sean? I took your We Are Freaks and put it in the background.
Without respect, you are fabulous. Cocoa Puff statements. What? Flushed face, see no evil monkey rolling on the floor laughing.
Cocoa Puff statements? Wow. Don't even know what that means. Yeah, let's see. See if I can find that one. Oh yeah, it would be for this one. Oh yeah, I got to put the chalkboard on there. There we go. I don't know what that is. Yeah, they're just total girl code, Audric, because I hardly ever understand any of them. Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, Ozark is awesome, right? Have you seen all 3 seasons? What sucks is you have to then wait a whole nother year before their next season comes out. It blows. I usually get up at like 9:30 or so. That's because I don't fall asleep until about 2. I can't just go right to bed after the show. Oh, you're almost done with it? It's pretty good, don't you think? VP? I wonder if they just kind of made this story go away. Because why was his fingerprints in the FBI database? I almost want to do forget Florida. I mean, where was he buried? Didn't anybody bury the guy? I don't see it. Edward L. Deal. Here, let me see. I think I tried doing some of her Trace Elements rap. Let me see if I... Part of it was I kept redoing it over and over again. Let's see what it sounded like. I'm just trying to get the right sound to it. I think it's more like at the end.
Collector, reconnector, Professor, I'm a temper for conjecture. Crime dissector, thought rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try to play me like an old projector. Crime dissector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, free connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector, fool detector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a specter with a vector on his pector. With all respect, ya, just remember I'm a temper for projector.
Yeah, I was trying to do it. Yeah, I still got more work to do on it because you gave me more lyrics. But yeah, that was just part of it where I just kept going and going in circles. But Yep. Yeah, that's me. I do raps on here. You always miss those, VP, or what? Man, been doing it for a long time. I was thinking of doing another video on, I want to do my video proving that Gannon left the vehicle and use the whole timeline that they gave and the video. Okay, that's what I want to do. So I was putting stuff together in a spreadsheet today. So I just want to have all the time and then go over it. Like all the time put down in order. So well, I've seen you here for a while, VP. Yeah. So I must have a long delay again. But I thought I had all the settings set to where it was only like 6 seconds, I thought. Yeah, I do Ice Ice Baby to that same beat. Well, people said, well, I didn't see her loading the suitcase. Yeah, well, yeah, the car was backed into the garage. See, I mean, all that stuff is so obvious. The car's backed into the garage. Well, how did blood get onto the tailgate and on the floor next to that car if Gannon was already bleeding when he went out to the car? See, here's the thing is you have to believe that when Gannon walked out to the car at, 10:15, whatever, right around that time, that he was heavily bleeding from the head. I mean, blood was gushing all over the place. He was barely alive because there was blood spatter in the room. There was blood all over the mattress. There was blood all over the pillow. And it was a miracle that he was able to walk to that car. And then he gets into a car and there's absolutely no blood at all found in that vehicle that he's in. But apparently he gets to just sit in a seat and got not one bit of blood, or they just cleaned it up so well, but nobody ever does that. Okay, there's no chance. So the thing is Gannon did make it home. There's no doubt about it. But the people who always thought he didn't make it home, they have to keep trying to set up the argument. And so the police officer, what their out is he says, I can't definitively say that Gannon got out of the car, out of the vehicle, or something, something like that. As a matter of fact, I have it written right here. Hold on. It's so was that 2-night Nissan Frontier returns, cannot be sure if another person exited the vehicle or not. Okay, all right. So he's just literally saying, I cannot be sure, because they probably even saw that little shadow down there. But like me, you think like, well, that could be pixelation and all that stuff. But I didn't actually see a physical being. Okay, so I can't say. All right? But the thing that I've tried to tell everybody is that shadow is exactly at the right time, in exactly the right spot, right between the vehicles. I've showed everybody that there's two thin black lines. Those are the shadows of both cars. And the shadow appears in between those two on the other side. And at exactly the angle that door would actually open and somebody come out. And it was exactly right after she opened her door. So it's like the odds of that not being, and I also showed on the show that it was a moment of when whoever recorded the video, and it could have been recorded that way on the actual camera, there is it freezes. So it's moving along, then it freezes, and then all of a sudden you just see a shadow that's just there, right? That's because we didn't get to see it come into the screen for about a second, then move away. Okay, that's because it was recorded that way. You can see it. I actually counted out. I actually arrow forward where the frames on the screen are frozen, and you can tell because there's no pixelation, just the little random little dot changes that go on in a video. So I forward, and it comes out to like 45, 50 frames, which is 2 seconds. That's quite a long time, really. It's like 1, 2, and then, you know, it actually makes way more sense. So it's weird that you still have this. So I'm probably gonna do a video on it tomorrow. I'm trying to put together all the different timeline stuff in a Excel spreadsheet here, where it's just, you know, boom, 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 instead of reading through the whole document. So hopefully that's not too boring. Yeah, and then somebody goes, oh yeah, and here's the thing. You guys remember the video of Tisha? I can't find it if anybody knows where that is, but the video of Tisha inside the house talking to Gannon about him burning. And we've gone over that a million times. The only reason people think that that's so hideous is because at the time they believed he was dead, and now that he's dead, wow, that's so horrible. Oh my God, what an evil mom. What am I? Yeah. But here's the thing is, the way she was talking to him was totally normal. Okay? It literally is how moms when they're frustrated will talk to a kid. They just don't get recorded doing it. So you've got all these holier than thou moms out there that are like, oh, I would never, oh my God, she's so evil. No, listen. The truth is all she said was, well, how are we going to have to pay? How are we going to pay for this? You know, how are we going to replace the couch? We're going to get kicked out of here. You know, blah, 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 blah. It's so common, it's ridiculous. Right? And I would say 90% of moms, even watching here, have had moments where, had it been caught on tape, would look horrible, even though you're a great mom. Okay? I mean, everyone just put up your hand and say, yep, you're right. There's times where I blew up, said some stupid shit, and I was just really frustrated. I never should have said it. And if that was on tape, people would call me the worst mom in the history of the world. Even though it's not even that bad. Yeah, I know. See, that's the thing, is people just think they're so clever and, oh, look how evil she is. Yes, Tisha Stout is evil, okay? However, when you listen to that audio, there's nothing in it that is outlandish. Like, oh, wow, how dare there, you know. You can try to pretend there's something in there and try to twist it around and, you know, make it seem like that. Does anybody have that audio? I wish I could find that. It was a video. It was a little clip that when she was walking around. Yeah, well, it makes it sound like I suck, Helen. But people do say that a lot, so. Okay, yeah, if you can find that, Bridget, and yes, go ahead and send an email, all right? Because now I'm looking for it. Great. Right, see, but that has nothing to do with anything. Small, 11989, yeah. I'm purely basing everything. Here's the thing, is I'm only judging the video for what it is, not what she ended up doing a day later or whenever that was, compared to the video. Okay, and there's a lot of people say, oh, they can see blood in the video. Well, you're wrong. There wasn't any. Okay, it had nothing to do with anything. There wasn't any. You just wanted to see it to try to be a super sleuth, and it turns out that didn't happen. Yeah, well, I'll play it again. What do you mean, Gray, you have it? I don't know what that means. I'm asking for someone to get it because I don't remember. I looked for it for about 30 minutes and couldn't find it. Yeah, well, you'll probably have to leave, Curious Georgia, because if I get it, I'm going to be playing it. You're always so dramatic. Okay, you sent it? Okay, here we go. Let's see. Oh, it's a YouTube? Okay. Nah, I'm not gonna play somebody's YouTube video. Yeah. Huh. Well, if anybody else has it, cool. I can't play somebody's YouTube video, especially one with ridiculous music in it like that one. Yeah. All right, let's see.
Well, devastating. Initially, Scott can't lie when the TMZ information. Well, devastating. Initially, Scott can't lie when the TMZ information.
Gannon, I promise this is the last time I'm going to ask you.
Gannon, I promise this is the last time I'm going to ask you.
I'm just freaked out, okay?
I'm just freaked out, okay?
Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose?
Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose?
Okay, you promise.
Okay, you promise. I mean, she's actually like giving him a chance. Like, okay, yeah, you know, are you sure you didn't do this on purpose? He goes, I promise, I didn't.
You promise. On purpose. Pinky promise. Pinky. Okay, all right. So listen. We're gonna have to sell stuff to fix it. Okay. So we figure out what we gotta sell. We can sell the sofa.
Yeah, she's trying to make him realize that things have value and consequences. Okay.
We can sell whatever, because we got to get it fixed so the lady don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house. Okay?
Yeah, I know I have it in the video, Curious Georgia, but it would be like a long time ago and I don't remember which one or anything.
You got it?
Okay. So listen, when you listen to that, do you think to yourself, wow, I've never said anything like that before. I'm not even anywhere near, that was just totally normal. Okay? Absolutely just, it's weird. I really just can't see anything about that, maybe she could have made him feel less guilty, but parents do that all the time. Seriously, like, just listen to it again. Just try to picture, pretend.
Well, devastating.
Okay.
Initially, Scott can't.
And yes, do not think about what actually ended up happening to him. Just listen to this for what it is. Okay? Seriously, that's all I want you to do. And people go, well, you can't do that, Gray. You got to take into account what. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to do that at all. Because people were all saying that this was the most evil thing they've ever heard. And if you actually believe that, you're an idiot. Okay? Because it isn't.
Live when the TMZ information.
Gannon, I promise this is the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaked out, okay? Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose? He did it. Okay, you promise. You promise. On purpose. Pinky promise. Pinky. Okay, all right. So listen.
I mean, what sucks about it, that he's crying but kids do that too all the time. It ends up being that she ends up killing him at another date. Okay, but when you just listen to this, I'm trying to get people to think rationally instead of using their emotions all the time. When you just listen to this, it's a kid that she's saying, he burnt the carpet. Things cost money. How are we going to pay for it? And she wanted to know if he did it on purpose. It seems like a reasonable, she's a little bit upset about it. She's freaking out, but it's not anywhere near what people say, okay?
Listen. We're going to have to sell stuff to fix it. Okay? Yeah. So we figure out what we got to sell. We can sell the sofa. We can sell whatever, because we got to get it fixed so the lady don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house. Okay? You got it?
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know. It just... Man, if every parent was judged on something of that level right there, there isn't a good one out there. So, it turns out that later, on another day, she killed him. But in this case here, that's not what was going on. Okay? There was no killing. It was just, she's frustrated. I don't know, man. I just think it's weird. I just want people to think rationally instead of just using emotions. Oh my God, did you hear that? Oh my God, oh my God. Yeah, okay, I know it sucks because you end up knowing that he gets killed by the same lady and you hear him crying in there. But at that time he was crying because he was in trouble for, burning the floor, and she's wondering if he did it on purpose. He was a 80, who knows what he was? How would they know what he was? Yeah. I don't have a clue how they would know that. Yeah, I mean, she recorded it. I guess, for me it's irrelevant. I mean, that she recorded it, and you wonder, okay, if she was recording it, was she trying to just have evidence of what his answer might be? Was she trying to make it seem like she was nicer than she was or anything? Or something? I don't know. But all I'm saying is just listen to how the conversation goes. And if you haven't seen other situations very similar to that, like in a grocery store with a mom and a kid, okay, then you really are sort of delusional. Hold on a second. Yeah. Wife had to come by there for a minute. She's going to bed. Right, she's trying to get him to do it, see what the truth is by, pinky swear and everything, right? Like, so something really did happen. Like, something did get burned or something. That has to be a true story, or why would he be responding that he didn't do it on purpose? Is she just inventing something and he's just going along with it? I don't know. One of the other things that's kind of weird is in the text messages that are in that document that we went over the other day. He said, can I play... I don't think he wrote that at all, the Nintendo... let's see, what did he write? He said... or wrote. The father said, hey buddy, and then he wrote back, can I play Zelda at least? As if he had already asked something else he could do, but we don't have those. And then he replies, not today. And then I want to know, there must have been other replies that we're not seeing, because why would he have that reply like that? He didn't just say, can I play Zelda? Okay. I mean, he must have said, hey, can I play Fortnite? No. Can I play Zelda at least? But do you think a kid, how old is Gannon? 12 or what was he? My brain, I got all these other cases mixed up in my head. The age. Or, shit, what was it? Man, there's so many now. Man, so many cases with kids. 11, okay. Do you think he would have put the word at least at that little phrasing at the end? Can I play Zelda at least? I don't think an 11-year-old writes like that. He might say, can I play Zelda? I don't think he'd say at least. That's an adult. But here's another thing, is I don't think Tisha would write that because she's so stupid. So, she might have put a couple dots in there. Although she did write that, because there is a dot in there, I think. Let me see. Is that the one with the dot? Hold on. Can I play Zelda? No, that's not that one. That's later on. That's the... Can my parent find my cell phone? If it's off. Okay, that's the one that they think that she wrote for sure. I think she wrote both of those. And here's the thing is, how come they haven't given us ping information for Gannon's phone. Right? Like, why aren't they giving information for the ping information on Gannon's telephone? Because if it was with her, it should have been pinging in all the different locations she was driving around, unless she would keep turning it on and off, that kind of thing. Because she responded to... okay, so there was responses to the father's text during the time she was gone. She hadn't made it home yet. So I'm wondering why they haven't released any of the ping information from his cell phone. Because it obviously would have pinged a couple times. Once at the Petco, and then another one probably not too long after getting home. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of times they hide that stuff to the world, Tori. You remember the Hart family, right? Yeah, the whole world thought, oh, wow, what a utopian sort of new age family. When at home it was a freaking, it just barbarian fest. Yeah, well, what's even weirder is that means Gannon's body was in, somewhere in the house or in the trunk of that other vehicle at the same time that the police were over there looking for Gannon. What song? Why not, VP? She thought she could clean it all up. Look, it has to be planned because there's all this other stuff that went on prior to it. She left her phone at home. Okay, she left her phone at home and turned it off, and she uses her phone every second. And then even when she got back home, she didn't turn it on for 25 minutes. And I think it was during that 25 minutes that she killed him. It's sort of strange that she wouldn't have just killed him out on the road where they just were, but then she probably realized, well, I got to use a car that they might not recognize. I don't know. Shit. She's just really dumb. That's the thing. She throws people off because she's stupid. No, and yet she did, though, VP, and yet she did. So, people are going to ask questions all day long. Wow, wouldn't it have been smarter if she'd done... Well, she did kill him at home, so... I know, I guess you're making the argument, was it a... like a spur-of-the-moment snapping, or was it premeditated? I think it could be a little bit of both, right? Like, she was planning on doing something. Why did she take that day off of work with a lie and he was off of work, school too. So she's sitting there, I don't know. Right, that's what I was saying, Bridget, earlier. Yeah, I guess it could be a little bit of both. Like, she's planning on it. I'm going to kill him before my husband comes back. And then she just was pissed off at something and did it, in the room there. Yeah, it's pretty wild what happened. Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense. See, but you guys all agree that she didn't kill him in the pickup truck somewhere else, right? Everybody agrees with that. That it was at the house. That means he did make it home. Because there isn't anybody that believes with all that blood, enough blood to soak through a mattress, through the carpet, into the cement underneath the wood and everything. That much blood, you think he's going to walk out to the car and just kind of get in the car, and then there's no blood to be found anywhere in that vehicle? Forget it. He went into the car. When I see him walking, he looks totally normal. Everyone tries to look for something. Oh, look at, he's limping. Shut the hell up, man. You're coming up with stuff just so that you could have sold a story, okay? He was walking, and he got into the car. She bent over to do something, whatever, probably dropped something. He gets into the car, then they take off. Okay? There's no blood all over the place. Then the car comes back, pulls up. Here, I'll show it to you again. I'm going to do it one more time there. Watch this. I just happened to have it open. I was looking at it earlier again. Yeah. So when you're looking at this, that's a shadow of this car. It's really narrow looking, but that's what it looks like from that angle. Then this shadow here is from the other vehicle that's parked there. Okay, so this is where Gannon got into the vehicle, right over here, right? But from the angle of the vehicle, the opposite side would be right over here because of the angle it's shot at. You guys see what I'm saying? It would be right around in this area. So here's where he gets in over here. Now look at, you go across, you can almost see the back of it right there. It's like right there and then down. So it would be right in this area where if you stepped out, you'd see him, okay? Now watch this. So we'll find the part where she gets out. So there's the door opening, right there. And now look at that, got filled up. See how it, right there? Just look right in this area right there. Watch in just a second. See how that filled up right there with the darkness? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in time and I'm going to show you how long the recording was right there. Let me just make sure. I don't see any pixel shifting at all anywhere. Not a lot there though either, so that's okay. One little bit right there. Now right here, the camera, the recording freezes. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Okay, and then 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. So that's almost 2 seconds. And that's why the shadow just appears there. You see that? Boom. Because there was kind of a glitchy deal where when it recorded, it sort of froze and then it jerks back in. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so there's literally 2 seconds that shadow could have started to form. And then we see it right when it starts picking up again, so it just seems to appear there, okay? Fortunately for us, we get to see it when it leaves gradually. So watch this. So when it shows up now, we see it. So that was 51 frames. Let me go back again. 51. Okay, 51, and then it goes, okay, 52 shadows there. So then we go 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. 61, 62, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's just really clear. I can just see that shit. It's awesome. Let me get there again. So it's 51, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 38. So 38 plus 51 is almost 3 seconds. There's 30 frames a second. So you're talking about what are you talking about, Bridget? Wait, is he doing shadow videos now too? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Shit. No, there isn't both sides of the tire. I don't know what you're talking about. There's only one spot right here. It's 3 seconds. It's right here. I'm going to zoom in just on that spot. Jesus. Everybody just copies everybody. It's crazy. Yeah. So remember, it was 51 frames to get to right here. No, there isn't one on the back end. So anyways, look at the, we got this one right here. I mean, it's weird how you point out a shadow and that's not good enough, so they got to find another little piece so they can say, see, look at me, I found something. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. There isn't enough of, there's no truck showing on the other side though. That's the thing. The whole key for me is just right here. See right there? So it's 51 frames that were frozen. It wasn't, it just sort of popped into this. You see it a lot of times in like jittery video. You see walking that, and then it freezes, and then it sort of lunges forward. That's what's happening here. So it's almost 2 seconds, and then it's 90 frames total. So it's 3 seconds total of time. And then look at it. It's solid there. But there's a little bit of movement there. See how there's movement? A little bit. And then look at how it goes exactly in the direction to the right as you were going into the house. See that? Watch. So I'm here, and then 1, 2, 3. It goes to the right into the house. See that? Yeah. And this is the only part right here that matters. Okay? Because right here is between this car and the other car. That's not somebody opening up the door. Everyone's trying to explain it. That like, no, that's her shadow. No, it's not, because it's on the other side of the car. Yeah. Yeah, see, like if it was the same one, you could see it. But when she pulled back in, you can't see behind it, right? So it's just right there that matters. The first one is when they're leaving. I mean, there could be another version that I might have. Let me see if I have a better version of this. Yeah. You see, there's no more there. You see, that's what they gave out right there. Now, I thought one time I could see something up there, but I couldn't. You know, I see some movement up there, but I don't know. I can't say for sure what that is. No, there isn't another shot. This is the only video that was released right here. There's just another portion of it earlier, this one, where it's out further, and it's the full shot, but then what they released was zooming in on it like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. People just see what they want to see. But I'll go take a look at it. Was it a new one? Because he did the one where he's staring into the screen with emotions. Is there another one that's that he put out? I thought it was pretty good. The one that he is, it's cool footage, I guess. I know, it's weird. It just kind of blows. What do you mean the same video? He didn't even mention me in that video. What are you talking about? I put a comment in there. I said, hey, yeah, well, I didn't think Anna made it home. I was like 90% sure that he made it. I mean, I thought he made it home, 90% sure. Okay? I wasn't one of the people that thought, oh, nope. Because she said, no, he came home. You got to find it on another camera. She wouldn't have said that, in my opinion, unless she was very certain that he made it home. She just knew that nobody could say how he got her out of, she got him out of there after that. Yeah. Yeah, well, sometimes I don't know if it's Pius in Aquarius. Sometimes there's pixelation that happens, kind of like this part right here. This part's weird. Watch this. See, watch. But it's just the odds of that not being a shadow, given the exact location, are just so low. Yeah, so when the car pulls in and the shadow shows up, I think I point at it. Now look at these two things right there. That's just sort of this artifact pixelation thing that just stays there. These two little stripes. And there's no rhyme or reason for them, but they just sort of appear after she walks by. See, like she's walking by and then her foot kind of leaves an artifact there. See that? Watch. Boom. Like there's her foot right on that exact spot, and then boom. It just left an artifact there. It's not like this shadow all of a sudden that shows up between the two cars. Yes, I am, Trevor. What's going on? Yeah, what do you want a Christmas tree cake? Curious, Georgia. Do you have the time code where he actually? I didn't see anything in that video. I didn't watch every second of it either, because that's not my style. I don't do videos like that. I just do videos where I try to find the facts of a case, put them all together, and make come up with a theory that matches the facts, not my emotions about the case. Yeah. But I liked John Crimes's you know, the cinematography of his video. Right? Like, it looks pretty cool the way he lights things. I know it's frustrating for me though, Michelle. I'm hoping that I'm wearing off on some of you guys at least, because it's so much more refreshing just to have way more and more people who just kind of look at things. Well, geez, I don't know. Remember that one case when you guys were all blaming in the Broussard case? Remember that when everybody kept saying he did it, he did it, he did it, he did it, he did it. I was like, well, he could have done it. I mean, you know, we don't know yet at all. I never once said, oh, yep, he did it. You know, I thought maybe it was weird that, you know, they had money problems. Maybe he was upset about that. You know, that's just what you do. You work through things. But until you have something that makes sense, you don't just sit there and go, oh, yeah, they did it. Yeah. And just hope to God you're right. Right. Yeah, like Shane. God, that was so frustrating. Yeah, I don't know what there is. It doesn't really matter though. There's just a shadow there. That's all that matters. This thing right here is just pixelation. It's absolutely meaningless. For example, watch this. See this dot right here? Can you guys see that? Can you guys all make out that dot right there? Put a 1 if you see that dot right there, that black dot up in the right here, up in the right there. Can you all see this black dot right there? Put a 1 there if you see that. Okay. Now watch this. Oh my God, it's gone, everybody. That means a mouse ran over and picked it up. See, look at there it is, and then the next frame, 2 frames later, gone. Okay, that's just the weird artifact pixelation shit you get with videos sometimes. Okay? And look when that happened. How much other shifting is going on. Lots of stuff going on there. Like this thing right here. See this little mouse right there? Well, that wasn't even there a second ago. Look at that. Nothing. It just sort of faded into view. Look at that. Oh, it burrowed in the snow and then came out. And then it immediately appeared over there. It was like a mole that yeah. And that's the thing is, when you have video that isn't, even high quality video, if you zoom in to a small portion, that you get this stuff right here. Every single time. Yeah, it moved across the snow like a mole is what I was trying to say. It was awesome. The shadow was too big, and it was in the exact spot at the exact right time, and then it moved off to the right, okay? And we're missing 51 frames prior to that, which would have probably shown it appear slower, you know, gradually, and then move off. 3 seconds is about exactly right for stepping out of a car and walking away. Yeah, leaf, dust, fly, moth, anything. That's my bot. Anyways, I think I'm about done right now, but tomorrow I'm gonna do a video. We're just gonna go over and, you know, the proof of how it's, you know, Gannon did make it home from that trip. What he was doing, we don't know. I mean, wouldn't it be weird if she scouted out that area and taunted him? Like literally took that truck and drove it out to the location she would eventually put him, so she actually went there 3 times. Yes, Trevor. It's time for me to go. I've been on since, well, for 3 hours now. Hey, no problem. No problem. Hey, there's Cairo. It's going to be the Canadian, not the Canadian, Australian accent.
Enough of us see what you do daily. We appreciate it, and so have countless people and families that you have helped throughout the journey that you have made on this platform. You have literally been flown across the country for court cases.
Well, thank you. And yes, that's true. Thank you. Now, I hope I make a difference for you guys. Anyways. I can tell, I know that my viewership, I don't get 25, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 views on a video, unfortunately. But, I think I just have my own little niche, live, true crime. I know there's, I think, Trish Griffith is starting to do it too, so, Well, thanks, Trevor Hudgens. Cool.
We love you, Mr. Gray. Good night.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna go get the. I'm gonna go back to my favorite spot again. I always feel peaceful flying around in that area because it's probably the best mapped place on the entire Google Earth. But maybe I'll go somewhere else in that area, but just like over here or something. What's over there? That's not a good map. Not a good map. Wait, maybe it was. Let me see. Okay, so thanks to Bridget Curvy. Bridget Curvy again. Thank you. Yeah, hey Bridget, if you can find the spot where he brings my name up in there, let me know. I want to hear what, hear where he said that. I didn't even know he brought that up in the video. I guess I didn't watch the whole thing. Hey, thanks. Oh, Tori Wells and Bridget Curvy again. Oh, the 60 minutes. That's funny. I was just asking you that. I know that you did that before I asked you because it came. There's no way you could have done that. Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah. So thank you to Bridget Curvy, Carol. Look at the flowers. Trevor Hudgens. Sherlock Hemlock, Bridget Curvy again, Kit Kat, Audra Blankenship, Kevin Brown, Bridget Curvy, Sean Beecham, Trace Elements 13.
Look around the 16 minutes mark of his video, thank you.
Yeah, maybe there is one out there, I don't know, we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, Mary Hayes, VP, Miss Skiss, Trevor Hudgens, Sean Beecham, Trevor Hudgens again, Tori Wells, Bridget Curvy, and I know Cairo on in PayPal out there. So thank you very much. Let me see if there was anything else. Yep. Okay. Look how cool that is. Look at that right there. Just, shit. Yeah. That's insane. That's ridiculous. Whoa. All right. Thank you guys all for showing up. And don't forget to, wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Wear a mask if you go to a store or something like that. I mean, I think if you're just walking around outside and there's nobody around, forget it. But, put a mask on if you go into a store. Maintain your distance for the time being. I mean, it's going to have to be this way until we get some really good antivirals, or, ones that just work every time, or a vaccine. Okay? It's just kind of the way it is. So, there you go, everybody. I hope you guys all enjoyed the show. I know it was a pretty long one there. It was all over the place, yet again. But that's kind of... that's what we do on here sometimes. And I have allergies, okay? Alright. So, thanks again, everybody, for showing up. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. 2, 3. Thanks, everybody. Be safe out there.